During the winter months, unfortunately, we're unable to grow because the aspect of the house prevents us from doing so. We don't have enough sunlight on our field. Our field is completely in the shade because of the forest behind us.
So a lot of you might be wondering what's happened to us. We were doing some vlogs quite regularly, I don't know, every couple of weeks or something like that. And then if you've noticed, all of a sudden we went quiet. And that's because it's been the winter time, everybody will know that. Up here though in Scotland, it's been quite severe. As you know, we've had numerous storms and more recently like the Beast of the East and these other things which brought lots of snow up these sides. So in terms of growing, we really couldn't do that much preparation anyway. But while we haven't been doing that much growing, physical growing, what we have been doing is quite a lot of, I guess you could call it kind of ministry work. So we've had numerous families who have made contact with us and who wanted to experience some ideas of country living, some of the sort of physical aspects, and also wanted to ask some questions, you know. And so we've had families who have come up and stayed with us, visited, and that's been really good. Also, we finished off, I think I mentioned in our last, one of our last videos, we were doing some trials for our microgreens, and those have gone really well. And so at the moment, we've got, we had about 3 shops in Aberdeen that were taking our microgreens and selling them. At the moment, we've kind of whittled down to 1. So we've taken the opportunity while the winter time is pretty quiet, getting all of that admin stuff done, so that once the new season starts, which is roughly around about now, then we can get ready to crack on with the practical stuff of growing. So the other thing that you might be wondering is, as my wife has just mentioned, why I'm standing here in our dining room, because this is our dining room, believe it or not, in my overalls with compost on our dining room table and seed trays. And so the thing is, we saw that the main industry or the main occupation that God really called for us was in the agro industry. So that would be farming. So that would be working with the soil. So that was God's original plan. So what we've decided to do is really take this to heart and really make specific steps and plans to make this actually happen. So at the moment, I may have mentioned it in some previous videos, the property that because we're renting, we don't own this property, but the property that we're renting, it actually comes with a little bit of land. And so by God's providence, we were able to acquire a piece of neighbouring property land, which is just under an acre. And we're able to farm that. So when I say farm that, we're not growing livestock or anything like that. We're going to be growing vegetables. So, you know, I can't go give you all of the vegetables that we're going to be growing, but there's probably about 35 different varieties of vegetables, plus strawberries that we're going to be growing. And the idea is that we're growing not just to eat, but we're also growing for the purpose of earning an income. So we're growing so that we can harvest and then we can sell. So that's why I'm here seeding, and that's why I'm wearing my overalls to keep me clean. In one of our previous videos, one of the first videos, Here to Die, which you can see on this YouTube channel, if you watch that, it will kind of give you an idea as to our background, where we came from, and what it is that we're trying to achieve now. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm putting, this is just compost, and it's not, there's no fertilizer or anything in this. As a matter of fact, this is peat compost. So I know there's a whole big debate on whether you should, the pros and cons for peat-based or non-peat-based growing medium. But anyway, that aside, so this growing medium that we're using is peat-based, and then all we've added for the time being is a substance called vermiculite. It's the same as perlite. It's kind of anyway. It's sort of like dusted rock, whatever. But it's used for drainage and also aeration. So that's all we've done. It's just the peat and then the vermiculite, and all we're doing is filling these trays, as you can see here. Now these trays, these are the seed trays, and like this, they come in, they're all the same shape, but they come in different sizes, the amount of holes that you can get. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has 8 holes by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And if you know your maths, that would be 104. So there's 104 cells. So that means if we put, whatever seeds in, you'll get 104 plants. Some of these are, 80 cells. Some of these are less. Some of them are more, 200 cells. So obviously they would be a lot smaller. But this is 104. For our growing, when we do our seedlings, we're going to be transplanting them into our beds, and our growing beds are 30 inches wide by 100 foot long. So they're quite long. So that's why we have so many of these seed trays to do. So this is just a few of the seed trays that I'm doing, that we will be potting up on a regular basis. This task is obviously one of many. Now, we don't do all of our starts here. Sometimes we will actually do our seeding direct into the ground, and that's fine, but it's just that because it's still quite cold, and we haven't even had our ground prepared by the tractor as yet, so the easiest way to get things going is just by using these seed trays and starting inside. But this is just one job of many, and it's not just me that does this. My wife does it, the kids do it, we all get involved. It's probably the next vlog that we'll do will be our family putting up what we call a caterpillar tunnel. It's the equivalent of a what? Equivalent of a greenhouse or hoop house. So it's quite a big structure that we're going to be putting up. We bought all the parts last year, and so this year we're just getting ready to put it all together, and so we will do a video of that, and you'll see how we all put that together. I think that's going to be a good bit of fun for you guys to watch. So subscribe to the channel if you like what you see, make comments, definitely check the other videos as well, and share with your friends.